Sudden death surge on mainland, Wuhan's fourth COVID wave spikes. China's stock market stops publishing foreign investment trading data. CCP leader's first appearance in 3 weeks after disappearing, state media reports unusual. Vietnamese Communist Party secretary meets Chinese Communist leader, experts analyze. Runmei youth, mainland unsuitable for living, Chinese should flee if they can. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Sudden death surge on mainland, Wuhan's fourth COVID wave spikes. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to sweep across mainland China, with social media awash in reports of rampant infections. The fourth wave, hitting Wuhan, Hubei, has been marked by an alarming increase in sudden death incidents. In the morning on August 3, when a 33-year-old security guard, while on his night shift in Xinqing, Guangzhou, died suddenly in a restroom. Cover News reported on August 18 that his sister recalled, despite his urgent plea for help through a voice message in a work chat, stating, "Help, something's wrong, I'm in the restroom, someone please help me," he was not found in time. Approximately 40 minutes later, a staff member from the security company responded to the distress call, but it was too late. Guangzhou police issued a death certificate listing sudden cardiac arrest as the cause of death. Despite the passing days, the security firm has yet to recognize the incident as work-related or offer any resolution. In the article's comment section, tales of similar tragedies were shared by netizens, including one from Guangdong about a ride-hailing driver who recently died of a heart attack and another about a factory security guard whose sudden death led to a substantial insurance payout for a work-related death. A netizen from Jiangsu expressed concerns about the disturbingly high rate of sudden deaths among the young, describing the situation as heartbreaking. Over 10 truck drivers die suddenly in one area within a month. The phenomenon of sudden deaths is notably prevalent among truck drivers, as reported by Jimu News. On the morning of August 17, a truck driver was found unresponsive in his vehicle at the Shaoshan service area on the Huquan Expressway near Hangzhou. Local police confirmed the driver's death but withheld further details. Further insights come from social media, where a Douyin user under the name Boarding Guide said that the deaths of over 10 truck drivers in the past month, noting that none had prior health issues and all incidents were sudden. Brother Huzi, another Douyin user, said of the recent sudden death of a 35-year-old freight driver in Xiangqing District, Suzhou, Jiangsu, noting a pattern of frequent unexpected fatalities among drivers, with victims ranging in age from their 20s to under 50. It's not just truck drivers facing sudden deaths. Another Douyin account named Bald King also posted a video stating that since the May Day holiday, far too many ride-hailing drivers have been suddenly dying, with drivers collapsing after just a few days of work. From what I know, 23 drivers have passed away since May Day, and now it seems like even 2 deaths a day can't be stopped, with some days seeing 3 or 4 sudden deaths. Regarding the frequent sudden deaths of truck drivers and ride-hailing drivers, some netizens believe they were overworked to the point of exhaustion, while others suspect it's related to COVID-19. They also claimed that the authorities are trying to suppress any mention of COVID-19. One netizen from Hebei commented, "Hospitals aren't allowed to use the word COVID-19 anymore." Another from Guangdong added, "What doctor would dare to diagnose a large number of COVID-19 cases these days?" Hospitals packed from Guangdong to northeast China. COVID-related terms have dominated trending searches recently, as numerous mainland Chinese netizens report testing positive again. Many are caught in a relentless cycle of testing positive, recovering, and then testing positive once more. According to official data, nearly 20,000 new COVID cases were reported in Guangdong in July alone. A Tencent article from August 16 noted the rapid spread of COVID-19, leading to overwhelmed hospitals from Guangdong to northeast China in just a few days. The phenomenon of younger individuals experiencing more severe symptoms in this wave in Guangdong also made headlines on Weibo. Numerous netizens have shared that they are currently positive, while others have sarcastically commented on the situation, saying, "Here we go, being the world's role model again. The Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention has released monitoring data for July 2024 that indicates a resurgence of the pandemic in China since late June. The predominant strains are now the JN.1 and XDV series variants, with the XDV variant showing a rising trend. The rate of flu-like cases testing positive for COVID-19 jumped from 8.9% in early July to 18.7% by the end of the month. Wuhan faces fourth wave with dominant JN.1 and XDV.1 variants. On July 19, the China Youth Daily reported that multi-channel monitoring by the Wuhan Center for Disease Control and Prevention has observed a steady increase in COVID positivity rates and case numbers since early July, marking the city's fourth wave since the disease was reclassified as a Category B infectious disease. The dominant strains in this wave are the JN.1 and XDV.1 variants, with the XDV.1 variant increasingly prevalent. Additionally, netizens from over 20 provinces, including Tianjin and Chongqing, have shared their symptoms, such as dizziness, body aches, severe fever, and intense coughing, with many believing that this wave has now spread widely across mainland China. China's stock market stops publishing foreign investment trading data. As of August 19, the Chinese Stock Exchange has stopped releasing daily data on net foreign capital inflows and outflows, further obscuring the already opaque Chinese stock market. WAON anchor Hemkor Soroya commented, "This move has cast an even deeper shadow over China's $8.3 trillion stock market, depriving investors of a crucial market indicator." Meanwhile, foreign capital continues to exit. On the 16th, data from the Ministry of Commerce indicated that China's foreign direct investment for the first 7 months of this year plummeted by 29.6% compared to last year. Even in 2023, foreign direct investment was lackluster, totaling only $330 billion, a drop of 82% from 2022 and the lowest level since 1993. The second quarter of this year saw a net outflow of $148 million in foreign direct investment from China. If this trend persists, China may experience its first-ever annual net outflow of FDI this year. David Riedel, president of Riedel Research Group, stated, "Over the past few years, we've been constantly reminded of Beijing's heavy-handed control over tech companies, demographic shifts, and the authorities' inability to implement effective stimulus measures. Consequently, I believe emerging market investors are realizing that China's long-term prospects may not be as positive as once thought." CCP leader's first appearance in 3 weeks after disappearing, state media reports unusual. The newly appointed General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, To Lam, began a 3-day visit to China on August 18, meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Amid recent rumors about Xi's health, with reports suggesting serious illness, many viewed this public appearance as a chance to verify those claims. However, the welcoming ceremony and meeting videos from August 18 lacked close-up shots of Xi. In past visits by important foreign dignitaries, where Xi Jinping attended military welcome ceremonies or meetings, or during his participation in major international events, CCTV would swiftly broadcast footage, typically including close-ups of Xi. However, August 19's coverage was notably different. In a 3-minute clip aired by CCTV at midday, the entire meeting was shot from a distance, showing a long table with no close-ups of either Xi or To Lam. Only Xi's voice reading his opening remarks was audible. Although Xinhua and CCTV issued breaking news about the meeting, no photos accompanied the reports. Earlier footage of the welcoming ceremony also only featured distant shots outside the Great Hall of the People, where the figures were too small to identify whether it was Xi. In contrast, Vietnamese state media released multiple close-up photos of Xi and his wife with To Lam and his wife, as well as images of the two leaders inspecting the honor guard. Even the signing ceremony involving both Xi and To Lam lacked any published photos of the two leaders. Besides CCTV, Xinhua, People's Daily, and other Chinese state media outlets did not immediately release photos of Xi welcoming To Lam throughout the day. This unusual approach quickly became a topic of discussion on overseas social platforms, particularly on X. Writer Shangwan Wan remarked, "How odd, the video of Xi meeting to Lam released by China News Service only includes his voice without showing his face. The entire video is shot in wide angle, making it hard to see where she is sitting. Has this ever happened before?" After the discussion spread on X, Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Hua Chunying posted a close-up photo of Xi and Lam at the welcoming ceremony on X at 1:30 p.m. Beijing time. It wasn't until nearly 4 p.m. that Xinhua released 9 photos in quick succession, showing Xi welcoming Lam with military honors and the subsequent meeting, including both distant and close-up shots. CCTV finally aired close-up footage of Xi and Lam around 6 p.m., showing Xi in his usual state. While Chinese media took an unusually delayed approach, Vietnamese outlets continued releasing standard photos, including images of Xi and Lam with their spouses and handshake moments. Political analyst Wang Huntao commented on X, "Xinhua and CCTV both issued breaking news about Xi meeting Lam, but no photos. Vietnam released them. Who can decode what's behind Xi's appearance and why the delay in releasing photos?" So far, the reason behind the delayed release of Xi's close-up images by Chinese state media remains unclear, and online discussions about Xi's health and the possibility of a body double continue to circulate. Vietnamese Communist Party General Secretary meets Chinese leader Xi Jinping, expert analysis. In the morning of August 19, Xi Jinping held talks in Beijing with the newly appointed Vietnamese General Secretary and President Lam. Both leaders also participated in a joint signing ceremony. Since late July, Xi had not appeared publicly, fueling widespread speculation. His appearance at this meeting attracted significant attention globally. Wang Mingshan, honorary professor at the Institute of International Affairs and Strategic Studies at Tamkang University in Taiwan, stated, "Given China's controlled media environment, fragmented news makes it difficult to predict future developments. Meeting the Vietnamese Communist Party General Secretary is a critical event. If there hadn't been a face-to-face meeting or if only video footage was shown, it would naturally raise doubts, requiring further observation." Feng Chengyi, a China expert at the University of Technology Sydney, remarked, "The relationship between Vietnam and the CCP involves shared but diverging interests. Both regimes maintain authoritarian rule through nationalism, but whether they truly protect national interests is debatable." This marks Lam's first overseas visit since becoming the General Secretary in early August and the first interaction between Vietnamese and Chinese leaders in 6 months. Wang Mingshan noted, "Vietnam is closely observing the shift in the Philippines under President Marcos Jr., who is strengthening cooperation with the U.S. and Japan while distancing from China. Vietnam, while engaging with China, is also monitoring U.S. developments, recognizing the U.S. as a key global player. Vietnam's strategy balances engagement with China to stabilize regional dynamics while fostering ties with the U.S." Lam's decision to choose Beijing as his first international visit highlights the significance of relations between these two communist states. Vietnamese Foreign Minister Bui Thanh Son stated that Lam's visit focuses on implementing signed agreements to boost cooperation, particularly in areas such as railway connectivity, agricultural trade, finance, and investment. Feng Chengyi added, "Economically, China remains Vietnam's largest trading partner, and there is significant mutual dependence. However, Vietnam is gradually distancing itself from China in favor of securing new technologies and investments from the U.S. and the West." Despite both being communist countries, Vietnam and China have long-standing disputes over the South China Sea and border issues. Lam has affirmed that Vietnam's foreign policy of independence, diversification, and multilateralism remains unchanged. This approach, known as bamboo diplomacy, focuses on maintaining a flexible balance among major powers. Runmei youth, mainland unsuitable for living, Chinese should flee if they can. Recent experiences and family changes prompted Alex, a 24-year-old from China, to recognize the extent of CCP brainwashing. Alex recounted his typical upbringing among Chinese students, indoctrinated daily with anti-Western sentiments and staunch party loyalty. His perspective began to shift in middle school when the narrative about the Cultural Revolution changed dramatically overnight, from a decade of calamity to a decade of exploration. This revisionism sparked significant student unrest and led Alex to question the authenticity of the so-called historical memory promoted by the CCP. Post-high school, Alex moved to Australia for further studies, encouraged by his father, who bypassed the Great Firewall to access information online. Initially, Alex found himself surrounded by nationalist sentiments and consulate-influenced events, deepening his pro-party stance. However, an English class that introduced critical thinking radically changed his outlook, teaching him to question not just the media but government motives as well. This newfound skepticism was transformative, particularly when he returned to China and saw through the deceits of the communist regime. His return in late 2019 for the Chinese New Year trapped him at home for 3 years due to stringent CCP lockdowns, severely disrupting his education. Alex stated that he felt his youth was being stolen and shared how he was continuously harassed by officials accusing him of spreading diseases from abroad. During the lockdown, Alex self-taught computer graphics, but the government crackdowns on creative industries shattered his professional dreams. Furthermore, discussions about the Russia-Ukraine conflict led to the permanent banning of his WeChat account. Alex also managed one of his father's construction projects during this time, undertaking significant work himself to reduce costs. Despite his efforts, he faced financial losses exacerbated by corrupt officials demanding bribes, encapsulating the systemic exploitation he wished to escape. Reflecting on the lack of prospects in China for ordinary people like his family, highlighted by his father's unjust treatment and false accusations by authorities, Alex solidified his decision to relocate permanently to the U.S. In December 2022, he did just that, and soon after, his parents followed, leaving behind everything. He observed that many Chinese students in the U.S. come from affluent, well-connected families aligned with the CCP, making personal awakenings rare. Alex noted, the real awareness is happening inside China, among those not born into privilege. He stressed that under the current regime, China is unsuitable for living freely or raising a family. His message is clear: those who can escape, should. Alex added that Chinese people aren't lacking in wisdom or talent, but under the CCP's censorship, creativity is suppressed. He hopes the Communist Party will eventually fall. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.